Wadi El Natrun is a valley located in Bahira Governorate, Egypt, including a town with the same name. The name refers to the presence of 8 different lakes in the region that produce Natrun salt. In Christian literature it is usually known as Cetus and is one of the 3 early Christian monastic centers located in the desert of the northwestern Nile Delta. The other 2 monastic centers are Nitria and Kelia. These 3 centers are often easily confused and sometimes referred to as a single place, but the locales are distinct, though geographically close together and with interrelated histories. Cetus, now called Wadi El Natrun, is best known today because its ancient monasteries remain in use, unlike Nitria and Kelia, which have only archaeological remains. The Nitrian desert is sometimes used to mean the entire region where the monasteries are located. It can also more specifically refer to the immediate area around Nitria and Kelia, with the region around Wadi El Natrun then more specifically called the Cetus Desert, is a monastic cell in a convent. Fossil discoveries. The area is one of the best-known sites, containing large numbers of fossils of large prehistoric animals in Egypt, and was known for this in the 1st century AD and probably much earlier. History. The alkali lakes of the Natrun Valley provided the ancient Egyptians with the sodium bicarbonate used in mummification and in Egyptian faience, and later by the Romans as a flux for glass making. The desolate region became one of Christianity's most sacred areas. The Desert Fathers and Cenobitic monastic communities used the desert's solitude and privations to develop Stoic self-discipline. Hermit monks believed that desert life would teach them to eschew the things of this world and follow God's call. Between the 4th and 7th century AD, hundreds of thousands of people from the world over joined the hundreds of Christian monasteries in the Nitrian desert, centered on Nitria, Kelia and Cetus. Saint Macarius of Egypt first came to Cetus around 330 AD, where he established a solitary monastic site. His reputation attracted a loose band of anchorites, hermits and monks who settled nearby in individual cells. Many of them came from nearby Nitria and Kelia, where they had previous experience in solitary desert living. Thus, the earliest Cenobitic communities were a looser consolidation of like-minded monks. By the end of the 4th century, 4 distinct communities had developed: Baramius, Macarius, Bishoy and John Kolobos. At first these communities were groupings of cells centered on a communal church and facilities, but enclosed walls and watchtowers developed over time and in response to raids from desert nomads. Nitria, Kelia, and Celis also experienced internal fractures related to doctrinal disputes in Egypt. The monasteries flourished during the Muslim conquest of Egypt, but in the 8th and 9th centuries taxation and administration concerns led to conflicts with the Muslim government. Nitria and Kelia were eventually abandoned in the 7th and 9th centuries respectively, but Cetus continued throughout the medieval period. Although some of the individual monasteries were eventually abandoned or destroyed, 4 have remained in use to the present day. Monastery of Saint Macarius the Great, Paromios Monastery, Monastery of Saint Pishoy, Syrian Monastery, Saints of the region. Some of the most renowned saints of the region include the various Desert Fathers, as well as Saint Ammon, Saint Arsenius, Saint John the Dwarf, Saint Macarius of Egypt, Saint Macarius of Alexandria, Saint Moses the Black, Saint Pishoy, Sts. Maximos and Damatios, Saint Poimon the Great and Saint Samuel the Confessor, Saint Exupéry. The environs of Wadi Natrun have been identified as the likely site of where the plane of French aviator Antoine de Saint-Exupéry crashed on December 30, 1935. Saint-Exupéry documented his experience in his book, Wind, Sand and Stars, and it also may have inspired his masterpiece, The Little Prince. Image gallery. Monastery of Saint Pishoy, Seats, Egypt. Monastery of Saint Pishoy, Seats, Egypt. Monastery of Saint Pishoy, Seats, Egypt. Monastery of Saint Macarius the Great, Seats, Egypt. Syrian monastery, seats, Egypt. Frescoes at the Syrian monastery, seats, Egypt. Frescoes at the Syrian monastery, seats, Egypt.